Hey, welcome to the May selections of the Wine of the Month Club, Ed. And just for the sake of all our friends out there in wonderful wine land, what were the selections from May of 1979?
San Martin soft Chenin Blanc. An interesting term, soft.
What does that mean?
Well, it means it was sweet. Okay, that's what it means. It was softer. It didn't have the sharp edges of acidity, that kind of nonsense. And the Villa Colcina 74 Chianti Classico Reserva. Colcinaya, whatever. But it was a Reserva.
A Reserva in the Classic Series.
In the Classic Series, which was like $7 or $10.
A Reserva is like, 20 months in oak minimum or something?
No, it's not that much, but it's in wood. It doesn't have to be necessarily oak.
Wood.
Yeah,
Of course, that was back in the day when you could put all kinds of stuff in Chianti as well.
Well, no, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, you couldn't. You had to put in at least two whites.
Right, they had whites back then. Those are no longer part of the formula.
No, they're not, and that was a smart move because they weren't being done anyway. So it's like, I went to tastings where I go, "There's no white grapes in there." They go, "No, there isn't."
Yeah, typically.
But that's those are the Italians.
1979, Ed. That was a long time ago. In fact, let's see. I probably wasn't working in the store then because I would have been at school.
I wasn't working in the store then either.
No.
I was working in my printing company, printing stuff for your dad, as a matter of fact.
Oh, so you're responsible for that.
Yeah, some of it.
Back tonight, wah, wah, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I have to start using that in the podcast more. Especially with the guys that are kind of stiff, they're not used to recording themselves.
You mean like me?
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed you were very familiar with the microphone.
Yeah, limited series for May of 2019. And boy, do we have a lineup for you. Step right up and taste these wines.
Where?
Right here. Don't turn it into a circus.
So, we have this Grenache. Now, we had a complaint, actually, from a customer for the name of these wines, the passive aggressive.
Like you made up the name?
I don't know.
What are you supposed to do?
I understand the F-bomb wine we did a few years ago. That that could have some connotations, but this is just passive aggressive.
Yeah, well,
it's kind of explaining the personality of the wine.
They're the winemaker.
So in the vintage series, we did the red blend. This is the 100% Grenache, which Ed's not a big fan of Grenache typically, but it's becoming pretty popular.
I love Grenache. I think it's terrific.
Oh, really? Now you changed your tune.
I always did. Grenache is what's in Chateauneuf de Pape and mostly Costa Rones. Those are fabulous wines. And the Garnaches in Spain are incredible.
Other than that, he hates them.
Yeah, there you go. I don't know who he's talking. He's talking about some other Ed,
Mr. Ed. The nose is really fascinating.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting because in the Vintage series, we had the red blend, which is obviously Grenache and Syrah.
Wow.
And this is 100% Grenache, and it's brighter fruit. It doesn't,
licorice component.
Oh, man, it is absolutely stunning. $25 on the shelf. You get more for $17.99. And
we went to the Pebble Beach. It's really a consumer show. It's kind of a weird thing for us. But we went to it anyway because FedEx took us there. And we sat in on a Grenache panel. And there's a bunch of Master Somms talking about Grenache.
Oh, boy, that sounds really fascinating.
This, if not the best of the bunch that they poured, is right up at the top. And particularly for the price.
This is amazing. And if you'd have told me this is Gigondas, I wouldn't have batted an eye.
Yeah.
And $30, easily. Really, really delicious wine. And I'm at a 98 on that. I think that's phenomenal.
What's the alcohol?
It's probably who knows? 14. Even in Oregon, those they go up in alcohol. But yeah, that's a great.
So expressive of what it is.
It really is. It's terrific.
It's just telling you, I'm Grenache. Don't forget to tell your friends I'm Grenache.
Thank you.
Speaking of Grenache, actually, both these wines were the same broker.
Well,
some of these wines we buy.
Care.
I think they do. Some of the ones we buy, folks, wine comes to America in 1,000 million different ways, and these particular ones came from a broker who goes out and she sources wine for us, specifically for us, and she sends us samples, and a lot of it's just junk. But sometimes she stumbles across.
Don't sugarcoat it, Paul. Yeah. How do you really feel?
Sometimes she stumbles across a couple of great wines. That's what these are.
Well, GSM stands for Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, which is a common. The three biggest grapes in Côte d'Aron, in southern Côte d'Aron, and southern Rhone, and Château de Pop and Gigondas and Vacqueyras and all those other little villages around there. And it's a great combination. Australia picked up on it probably 30 years ago, and they did quite well with it. I think that was some of the best Australian reds were GSMs.
You know what happened to Australians? They come and they go out of this.
Boy, there have been several articles that Australia's coming back because they were like silent for 10 years.
I saw one this morning. It used to be price things. So the prices go up. I don't know if it's the exchange of the dollar or what. And then all of a sudden they're back. And then, we were flooded for years with Penfolds and Rosemont and all those guys.
And Lindemans. Those are the guys.
You don't even see them anymore.
No, you really don't. You really don't see them. And it's a shame because they were, Rosemount made some terrific wines.
They
great
had some
price.
good high-end stuff.
This is unbelievably good.
Yeah, this
is really good.
80% Syrah, 70% Mourvèdre, which I love Mourvèdre myself.
But how much Grenache is in it?
Only 3%.
Oh, is that all? Wow. Well, why did they even bother putting it on there, for crying out loud? That doesn't.
Because you have to.
Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
Well, I mean, you could.
Yeah, you do.
You could call it Syrah. Yeah, you do it. You could call it Syrah since it's 80%. I don't get 80% Syrah out of this, though.
I'm going to sell. These are new. You go to a party and they have to identify your glass.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to sell these.
I see, and they work so well too. Fabulous wine. I'm at a 98 on this.
97. We did this Pebble Cove years ago. And it's from our friend Bob Castellani, Specialty Cellars. But the reason I chose this time was not because it wasn't that cat pee, which is the description people like to call Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand, but it's grapefruit for sure, and it's herbs for sure, but it's not like over the top. But it's New Zealand.
But it's pink grapefruit, which has got almost a sweetness to it. I mean, it's not just real high and tart and sour.
Though it is pretty tart.
Well, yeah, but that's what you want. I mean, you want Sauvignon Blanc that's got some acidity to it because you're going to have it with oysters or sashimi or something like that, and you got to be able to cleanse your palate.
It's just like sometimes we get these and they're so over the top that you can't even drink them, though they're pretty still stylistically New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc.
But that's delicious.
But this is, you're right. I love the ruby grapefruit.
God, is that delicious. This is very uncharacteristic of most Sauvignon Blancs in the mouth. In the nose, yeah, but in the mouth, it doesn't have that intense gooseberry, and that, an almost kiwi guava sort of thing.
What's interesting about the finish? The flavors of the finish go along.
That's
not
right.
Just the acid.
That's right, exactly. And that is a mark of a really good wine, I mean, so, God, what is this stuff? $22, $23, and you get it for $11.99?
$13.99.
I'm at a 98. Oh, $13.99. I'm at a 98 on this. This is fabulous.
I agree.
Now,
folks, you got to remember our scale is not. You're not going to go to the Spectator and look at a 98 wine and say, "Oh, Paul and Ed are off." We're talking about the relative value.
You're going to go the Wine Spectator's off. That's what you're going to do.
All the stuff that we taste compared to each other. Now, I love this guy.
I love this grape. I love Falanghina. Falanghina is just one of those grapes that, nobody knows what it is.
Well, Monsieur Massimo Alois. Mm-hmm. Now, he says Alois, but he knows that originally it was French and it was Alois.
That is so delicious.
And you can catch an interview with him at Trebecchieri when I was down there. And he is in Campania, and he is resurrecting old, what would have been extinct grape varietals.
That's right. He is.
He's been finding.
And doing some really phenomenal job. This Falanghina you normally see even south of Campania in Basilicata and typically in Sicily. But
True.
Here, oh God, it's just gorgeous.
You know what I like about this one? It's got plenty of backbone acid.
It does. It really does, and that's the mark against it. But this guy is completely organic. I mean, he even grows the plants that he plants in the vineyard to control the growth of other weeds. I mean, and he propagates his own bugs, to kill the bugs that could hurt the vineyard. I mean, it's an amazing operation, and it's a lot of work and passion, and you can taste it in the wine.
Now, the only thing I have a problem with, look at the label, the back label.
Yeah.
Look what it says under the vintage.
Yeah, dry red. Well, look.
Apparently, the TTB missed that one.
They
Huh?
had some extra labels. They didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, but it says Falanghina. I mean, it's the right grape and everything. It's just
you know,
they put dry red wine, which
you know,
the Fed should have caught that, but it's no big deal.
they're Italian. What do you want? You know.
That's so funny.
Anyway,
for me, this is like a 99.
I was just going to say that. Actually, it should be 100 because I don't think you'll taste a better Falanghina anywhere. I mean, that's probably the best Falanghina I ever tasted. Anyway, so
It's delicious.
That's our show for the limited series for May of 2019.
For sure, Ed, for sure.
For sure? Let's go to the shore.